Hi guys, it's Thomas here from COTbase.com. Welcome to our weekly COT review. Today we're going to be analyzing the 16th Commitments of Traders Report of 2021, and as we always do, we shall start off by looking at the largest changes in commercials positions. But for those of you who are new to COT analysis, the Commitments of Traders data, then check out our website. We offer a lot of educational material, not only a written format, but we have some very, very useful tutorial videos as well that will help you better understand this report and the tools that can be used in your trading system to analyze it. So back to the review, and starting off with our first market, which will be rough rice. You can see we have a 37% change in commercials positions. Commercials are on the left side of this table. We are measuring the changes compared to a 52 weeks look back period. We've got large speculators in the middle and small speculators on the right side. So let's look at that 37% change. And I think this is a great example for anybody who is just studying COT analysis. Always open these COT charts, because don't forget, although they look like traditional technical indicators, they're actually not derived from price. They're a separate fundamental data that is bundled into a graphically, visually understandable format. So these are the charts. They're representing traders' net positions, commercials being roughly at 1,000 contracts net short. That's what it says. Now we're talking about the COT change signal. This change in traders' positions and commercials positions, to be specific, was much larger than average. Actually, the largest change in the past 1 year. You can easily see that it is the largest change. Large speculators, maybe not the largest, but amongst the top 5, I should say. So interesting week for rough rice. And of course, the change signal, as you can see from the color, is bullish. So it suggests that we could see further strengthening in this market. You can see we already had some rally going on this week. Moving on to the 5 years chart, you can see that with this sudden change, actually the picture is changing. Now, we were in a bearish extreme territory, but we're moving towards bullish extremes. So that's getting larger and larger. Now, of course, you don't need to go back that much in time to find even greater extremes in the past. So these would be the ones that we would really want to see if we're talking about an extreme buy signal. So, but it's getting there, and we can state that both of our major signals are pointing upwards, suggesting strengthening in the rough rice in the upcoming next couple of weeks and month ahead of us. Okay, the next market is live cattle. We have an 18% change over there in commercials positions on the 1 year chart. There you go. You can see that magnitude, and once again, by opening the chart, you can see that it is, although greater than average. We have seen similar changes in the past. It is a bullish change signal again, but it is coming after a decline that's been going on for roughly 2 weeks in the live cattle market. So this change signal suggests we could see a rebound happening in this market. Moving on to the 5 years chart, you can see that we are more or less in between the two extremes. Here on the 5 years chart, this is a good example of the most significant bearish COT extreme on this 5 years time horizon, and we can find multiple examples of bullish COT extremes, and we are more or less in between those two extremes. So not much from the extreme side. The next market will be soybeans, with a 17% change in commercials positions, 13 in large speculators, and of course everything on the 1 year chart will be more visible. So there's the change size being a bit larger than average. It is a bearish COT change signal coming after some strengthening in the market, so it could suggest we may see a bit of a pullback in the market. 5 years chart, here we go. We are more closer to bearish COT extreme levels. So we're not surprised to see that as the market is headed upwards. But we've been at greater extremes, as you may see, without any meaningful and long-lasting reaction from the market. So that's something you should keep in mind. Now, moving on to large speculator COT extreme, we talked about rough rice, so we're going to jump over that and open Swiss franc, where we have a 56 or 58 report extreme. In large speculators, you can see that over there. once again, nothing too unusual, I should say. A little bit, still closer to bearish extreme levels, I should say. Just to give you an example of a beautiful bullish extreme, this one from 2019 could be a good example, and we can see some examples as I'm going back in time. So we're far away from those levels, and again, not at those bearish extremes that we could possibly be at. So this is once again something that I just put aside and focus on something else. And there's so many markets to look at. So we always analyze just a few here in these weekly reviews. So here's another market, lumber, huge rally in lumber. And you can see that although that's the case, price-wise, we don't really see any sell signals from the COT report on the extreme side. So looking at this 5 years chart, one would expect traders to be at roughly commercials at closer to 3,000, 4,000 contracts net short, for example. Large speculators above 2,000. That would be an extreme signal that you could, really act upon maybe. So this means that the rally could actually continue on. The report doesn't say anything against it. So we'll see what happens. And last but not least, another soft market. This will be orange juice with a 23 report extreme, and large speculators, really not much. But of course, here at COT Base, you can look at all market categories and analyze, for example, the largest extremes and small speculators or commercials for that matter. So here we have that 23 report extreme. And once again, we are not talking about a huge and massive extreme. So these examples that I'm showing to you are really just, the natural and most general picture that we can see from the report. Nothing. So, and that's something to keep in mind. You don't have to always trade. You can stay aside and wait for opportunities. And I'm telling you, if you've been watching these reviews, there are times when actually week by week we have these huge all-time COT extremes in the market. And those are the ones that are really clear and can help you, try to take advantage of that signal and be prepared for a major shift in the trend. So nevertheless, that was it. There's a lot to do here at COT Base. Of course, we are only looking at a few market categories. We're not talking about stock indexes, interest rates, or cryptocurrencies, but you can definitely check those out if you subscribe to cotbase.com, where you can also analyze the newest COT report types, all the data types that are available. We're looking at futures and options in these weekly reviews, but you can, of course, analyze the futures data only, or if you wanted to, you can actually have a look at the options only data. Very unique, only here at cotbase.com. There's a lot of data sets to analyze. We have some very useful tools to analyze not only the changes in the markets, but also the extremes. We have COT index, we've got the COT move index as well, we've got the long-term trend indicator. We can also analyze volume and open interest. And if you are interested in a specific market, you can definitely do that here. Just choose the market you want to analyze, and there you go. There's a bunch of data to analyze. And of course, all of these are charts that you can look at. So the data is not just in a table format, but you have the options of analyzing the data set themselves. So a lot to do here. Please do check it out if you have not done so. I thank you very much for your attention, and I wish you a pleasant weekend. Take care. Goodbye.